I'm gonna get yours there though. I would have got it. Great rising. Great rising, great rising. Peace and power. Peace and power, y'all. I told you I killed something. I'm working. Alright, here we go. Guess at least one. You got a lighter on you? I don't need you to get up. I'm just wondering if you have it in your pocket. I mean, we're outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Greetings. Greetings.
Greetings.
Peace and power.
Peace and power.
Great rising. Look who's awake today. I'm proud of King. He got up early. He did it today, all by himself, too. I was impressed. See? Alright. So we picking up on Queen of Four, Sacred Woman. Copyright 2000, Queen of Four, Helen O. Robinson. Alright. The music you will hear in the background today is Queen of Four Medicine Song. Queen of Four and Other Sacred Voices. Alright. Alright, back. You back? Okay, here we go, family. Hold on.
Peace and power.
Great
rising, Lisa.
Great rising. Y'all see these chicken wings now, because by the time we get through these gateways, my chicken wing swing is going to be over. He is back, honey. The pack attack is back. Yeah. But look, though, we going through the gateways. See this? If you have some of that, that's from, like I said, I told you before, that's from the 10-piece lemon pepper wet with fries. You used to eat chicken wings? What kind of chicken wings you used to like?
Buffalo.
Buffalo? Mild?
No. If you're going to do buffalo, you got to go buffalo. I like spicy. I like jerk wings.
Jerk wings. Oh, you fancy, huh?
I'm fancy.
I'm trying to tell you. All right.
Gotta get them jerked.
So, but you ain't got no wings, though.
I ain't got no wings.
Let me see. Shake it like a Polaroid.
I ain't got no wings.
All right, that's peace. I got enough wing for us both.
Oh, I can fly on yours. I can use yours.
All right, now.
I'll be the wind beneath your wings.
You ain't catch an uppercut.
Oh, you can.
I'm trying to tell you. You don't want it. You don't want the Street Fighter. I'm trying to tell you. He's out here shaking his imagination. The fuck? Alright. I'm going to try to be quieter so I don't wake people up. Shh. Alright. Class is in. Alright, you know we start with our affirmation. Alright, sacred woman, sacred brother, sacred man. Let's do this. I don't know where my pretty bell is, but it's okay. I never know what that is. And I didn't even take my fine lines.
Yes.
I
11.
told you that, didn't I?
Page 11. Yeah.
I am. Hold on. I gotta bring this table closer. Hold on one second. Because I don't want to yell or project my voice too loudly. Alright. Yeah, I think next time I'm okay with it being the long way. I don't know why I feel weird trying to find the camera. Oh, you said your phone flip around or not when you live? Alright.
Technology,
Okay. No, that made me feel a little bit better. Yeah, because now I look like I'm looking off to the left. And that's where I look off. So that's peace. Alright, here we go. One more time. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. All right. that's peace. I tried reading with you and it was the same thing when I read without you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not the same. It was not the same as being with you. It was the same as you said. Not as fun. I told you we need each other. One hand washes the other. One hand washes the other. That's peace. It's a lot more sisters on Facebook reading too. You know. Divine Johnson, Davan Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to her. She reading Sacred Woman live right now. She's really transparent. That's Brown Sugar. Tell her Chocolate sent you. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Say page 11. Let me go down. I ain't get no farther than 11. All right, that's peace. Let's do it. Let me find out where I'm at. I remember the great-great-grandparents of the earth ancestors. Earth elements. Undifferentiated. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Great Rising. Picking up at chapter 1, page 11. We're in part 1, the ancient ways. So chapter 1 is Kemetic Nubian philosophy. We're picking up on page 11. Picking up on page 11. All right, here we go. Oh, just for the heck of it. They say our way is dead. They say our way is no more. That the Nile Valley legacy ought ended thousands of years ago. But we are here and we remember. That's peace. Is that your stomach or mine? Mine's just doing the same thing. Like, that was so dope. It was like the same time. Like, but I was like, damn, am I projecting though? Ventriloquist stomach? Alright. Okay, here we go. Listen, family, before we go, we've been up for an hour and 15 minutes already. So, we done, like grandma say, we done shit, shave, and bathe. Yeah, we did some yoga. Probably 30 minutes combined time. And we almost steeped some tea, but I didn't want to wake everybody. But I do have a container where I can, one of those, keep it hot for 12 hours. So I'm going to remember to use it in the evening so my tea will already be hot and on the altar when I rise. That way I can minimize the noise I make and waking everybody else up. I'm telling you this because, like I said, you shouldn't be rolling out of bed with your bonnet on just to prop you up a pillow and get you some wrong shit to drink and listen to the video. You should be active too. You should get up and you should be active, all right? It shouldn't take long before you're waking up this time without an alarm. And that happens if you're active in the work, the reward. The reward is that you awake naturally. You take a step, mother take a step. All right, let's go. Page 11, starting at the 3rd paragraph. Contrary to popular belief and ignorance, my ancestors, the black people of the black land of the Nile Valley, did not worship many gods and goddesses. My African ancestors viewed Inter, the creator, as the undifferentiated, one and all divine, from which all life emanates. However, Inter has many wondrous divine attributes, and all of these manifestations, the Interu, are aspects of its wholeness. Consider for a moment such divine emanations as Mayat, the aspect of balance, harmony, truth, law, righteousness, and reciprocity. Hetru, the aspect of divine love and beauty, and Neferatum, the sacred lotus, representing the highest ascension and unlimited potential. Heru, the falcon, represents victory, the aspect that we can call upon to fly above all obstacles. Tahuti embodies the aspect of divine intelligence, and so on. The Kemets, my ancestors, believe that within the heavenly realm, the book was getting kind of heavy. Within the heavenly realm, the presence of the divine is reflected in the balanced worship of Inter, the mother-father creator, where both aspects in one are given equal respect. By contrast, most present-day Western religions recognize only the male priest and worship only a male god in a heaven of male angels. In the ancient African spiritual tradition, there is deep respect for the mother creator and the female priestess, as well as for the father creator and the male priest. The Kemets lived the philosophy of Mayat harmony and had respect, reverence, and honor for Inter and its divine manifestation in man and woman and all nature. They saw nature and their environment as an expression of Inter and an inspiration for self-healing, from which my heal thyself philosophy comes. The Kemets use the element of water for purification rites through baptisms, fasting, and enemas. They use the element of earth in the form of healing foods, herbology, and aromatherapy to purify and rejuvenate the body temple. My ancestors used the element of air, breath, through what was called Ari Ankh Ka, known as Hatha Yoga, now known as Hatha Yoga. That's Ari Ankh Ka. The various sacred movements and poses that have been depicted on the walls of temples and pyramids were carved by my people thousands of years ago. Their records have outlasted man-made misinterpretations and outlived the libraries burned by foreigners who could not comprehend or appreciate the spiritual heights and advancement of my people. To be recharged and purified, my people use the element of fire in rituals based on the powerful rays of Aten Ra, the sun, which blazed over the vast desert of Kemet. They use fire foods to cleanse, such as radishes, leeks, onions, and cayenne. They burn frankincense and myrrh, cinnamon and other spices, herbs, and essential oils, and use them to smudge their bodies to destroy negative spiritual entities attracted to the body temple. Today, we only need to look to the source for this knowledge as represented in the 42 laws of Mayat. All right, I'm going to go through them. You want to do those?
I'll do it for you.
All right, let me do this part first. The 42 laws of Mayat. This moral and ethical guide is the legacy left to us by our ancient Nubian Kemetic ancestors. Egyptologists refer to them as the negative confessions or the declarations of innocence. The interpretations below came through Heru Ankh Ra Samaj, chief priest of the Shrine of Ptah in New York City. Unlike the 10 Commandments, which came from an exterior power, the 42 laws of Mayat inspire personal responsibility and accountability to one's own indwelling divinity. We recite them at sunrise and sunset. In the morning, we say, I will not. In the evening, we say, I have not. In this way, we conduct a daily moral inventory, for as Kemets, every day is Judgment Day. Hetepu. Hetepu means peace and blessings. Hetepu. Hetepu. All right, the 42 laws of Mayat.
I will not do wrong. I will not steal. I will not act with violence. I will not kill. I will not act unjustly. I will not cause pain. I will not waste food. I will not lie. I will not desecrate body places, holy places. I will not speak evil. I will not abuse my sexuality. I will not cause the shedding of tears. I will not sow seeds of regret. I will not be an aggressor. I will not act guiltfully. I will not lay waste in the plowed land. I will not bear false witness. I will not set my mouth in motion against any person. I will not be wrathful and angry except for a just cause. I will not copulate with a man's wife. I will not copulate with a woman's husband. I will not pollute myself. I will not cause terror. I will not pollute the earth. I will not speak in anger. I will not turn from words of right and truth. I will not utter curses. I will not initiate a quarrel. I will not be excitable or contentious. I will not prejudge. I will not be an eavesdropper. I will not speak overmuch. I will not commit treason against my ancestors. I will not raise water. I will not do evil. I will not be arrogant. I will not be blasphemy toward the one most high. I will not commit fraud. I will not mistreat children. I will not mistreat animals. I will not defraud temple offerings. I will not plunder the dead. These are the 42 laws of Mayat.
All right. One of them was I will not be excitable or contentious. I will not be excitable or contentious. That's peace, because I always cover a 43rd law with my babies, and that one is I will not be petty. But that's the same. To be excitable is to be turned the fuck up. Excited much? To be excitable is to be turned the fuck up. And to be contentious is to provoke arguments. Okay? That's petty. When you tell somebody what so-and-so said, or tell somebody to go and look at so-and-so post, yeah, that, beloved, is contentious. Peace and power, peace and power, peace and power. Eat or free. All right, eat or free. All right, here we go. We're on page 13, sis. We're on page 13. The basis of Kemetic society. Every day of my life, I maintain a healthy body temple as my ancestors did before me, by blessing and consuming the 4 elements to protect body, mind, and spirit from disease. I activate the element of spirit through meditation and hesi, chanting. The element of spirit permeates all the elements, for inter and nature are one. My earliest ancestors were mostly vegetarians, particularly the priestess and the priest. They understood the necessity for purity and performing spiritual work. Unlike many teachers of today, the basic Kemetic diet consisted of beans, lentils, peas, barley, millet, nuts, fruits such as dates, melons, and pomegranates, vegetables such as onions, cabbage, and peppers, and healing herbs such as gotu kola, nettle, aloe, garlic, and parsley. And when they were invaded by Asian nomadic shepherds, the Hekshasu, more flesh foods entered the diet, thus sowing the seeds of our ultimate deterioration. All right, so there are 2 health documents that I've always given credence to, because they were on the right on the beginning of my vegan journey, and those are Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and Forks Over Knives. And I don't remember in which one where they talk about Hitler and his men having taken all the livestock when they put all these people in camps. You know, they didn't feed these people well. They had to eat whatever they could pull from the ground. And, the livestock were reserved for him and his team to eat good and shop good. And as a result of these prisoners, captives, as a result of their diet change, their disease rate went down. They grew stronger, fam. They grew stronger. Their disease rates went down. Blood diseases and heart diseases decreased. You understand that? Plant life. It's not, like I said in the beginning, I was like, oh, all black people should eat this way. We the indigenous people, we should eat the indigenous foods. Now I know we're not all the indigenous people. We all not going to eat the indigenous food. And that's peace, because it just, like I said, don't be no shade. For me, let me know where you are in your enlightenment. You know, like, I got to be able to help you. I have to be able to fight for you. I have to be able to fight with you. I have to be able to represent you. I have to be able to breathe, live, and move in my own body. How revolutionary can I be? How am I about the life of change if I'm not even strong enough to change my health? If I'm not even change enough to change my family medical history? If I'm not even strong enough to change the odds that are against me? All right, let's peace. Let's peace. Well, it's pieces for some folks. But yeah, as a healer, I have chosen to eat as clean as possible for clarity. Great rising. Great rising. Oh, yeah. All right. Sharon on here. I sent her a package, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I sent a package. I don't know. She would probably be saying something about it. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Operation Say No More. All right, here we go. My ancestors founded their entire society upon the divine spirit in Tur, which kept them in a state of continual purification, meditation, wellness, and harmony of the soul, body, and mind. Everything they did was sacred and inter-driven. From their work to their clothing, from their relationships to their homes, temples, and government. The entire society was directed by the 42 laws of Ma'at, the moral code of ethics that later inspired the 10 Commandments. This belief in the sacredness of life and of all things helped them maintain a thriving nation. Like the Hunzas in the Himalayas today, my people were for thousands of years an unpoliced, peaceful people. Today, their example of a divine civilization offers us a model that could, if put into practice, create global healing. If you never read the book Things Fall Apart, I don't know how to say the name of the author. It looks like Chinua Achebe. Chinua, and I may be spelling this wrong. Akibe. I don't know. If you put in Things Fall Apart, it'll come up. Is it a book about it's even in the fiction section, right? So it's not a self-help book, or it's not a book about know thyself, but it did help me to know thyself. It was the first book that helped me to really know thyself. I kept looking for a book to understand what I was going through, and I kept looking for books like called Know Thyself or Knowledge of Self, or like, look, niggas told me, oh yeah, you woke now. You just need to know thyself. And I was like looking for a book, Know Thyself. Like, you got to have faith. That was her last name. It wasn't like that at all. Things Fall Apart. Things Fall Apart taught me African words. It described African prints and fabrics and African meals, African practices, traditions, family structures, spirit worship. It was amazing. It was a quick read. But what I pulled from it most, though, was like, and I've said this before if you've been with me, when I read Things Fall Apart, there was a part where they were talking to, like, it seemed like they were talking to ancestors or something. I'm like, how is this happening? It seemed like they had a fire, but they're like verbally speaking to the ancestors, and it's almost like the ancestors are verbally speaking back. And I was like, so I'm going back pages and chapters to find out, are these people dead? Hold on, what the fuck? Maybe they mean different by ancestor. And so it was the first time I really opened my heart and understood that if I talk to my people will talk back. For the first time I understood that. I talked to Jesus for so long, and Jesus didn't talk back. I couldn't hear because that wasn't my God. That wasn't my people. You know what I'm saying? When I spoke to Harriet Tubman, she spoke back. I know that's my people. All right. So Things Fall Apart is a good one, and I'm gonna tell you what made me want to tell you that as soon as I can figure out where I was at in here. Say work, clothing, relationships, homes, temples, entire society was an unpoliced people, a peaceful and unpoliced people. It doesn't mean that we were without incident, but it didn't require a cop force, a judge and jury to get the order and shit restored. To restore the order. I didn't have to say and shit. To restore the order. All right, here we go. Good examples. I would give you some from that book, but I want you to try to check that out. Things Fall Apart. All right. If you send it to me, I gave mine away, but if you send it to me, I'll read it. I'll read it live. Okay, here we go. Kemetic spiritual practices. Oh, you want to read this?
Sure.
Okay. Let me turn this so you can have it. I can look at you. I love you.
Kemetic spiritual practices. I rise at the hour of Nethet to call out in prayer the 42 laws of Mayat to spiritually secure my day. Then I place a Mayat feather in my hair to encourage me to live in right and truth throughout my day, for I am responsible for what I create. My ancient African ancestors taught us how to love ourselves through the divination of the body members, showing us that every part of us is a divine aspect of the Creator. From our eyes of Het Heteru to our feet of Ptah, this healing ritual, which appears in our African holy book, the Per-Im Heru in Gur, the book of coming forth by day from night, misnamed the Egyptian Book of Dead by Egyptologists, teaches us how to love ourselves more each day so that we can be greater service and uplifting humanity. My Kemetic ancestors had a powerful way of bringing our spiritual bodies into balance and healing. It was done by giving us sacred words to speak in our meditations to evoke the resurrection of our call. My favorite is Nuk Pu Nuk, Ku Ama Ku Kwama Hepura Emneruba. I am that I am, a shining being dwelling in light, and I come from the limbs of the Most High Netu. Now, can you pronounce that better than I did?
No, probably with more confidence, but not necessarily more correctly. Nuk pu nuk ku ami ku kikam kepara interha. I am that I am, a shining being dwelling in light. And I come from the limbs of the Most High in Ter. Well, I know nuk pu nuk ku, and I'm like I said, ami ku.
Quimam. Kumam.
Keparu. I know that.
Keparu.
I know that.
Okay.
All right, that's peace.
That's
and listen
peace.
here, this is a beautiful thing too. It said, if you take a step, I'm gonna take a step. You know what I'm saying? Like if you take a step, if I'm walking down the street and you walking up the street and you want to get my attention, and you don't say shit to me, you don't wave or nothing, you don't say shit, and you don't do shit, how are you gonna get my attention? You're not. Oh, this piece, I like looking at you anyway. However, listen, it's Ife. Some people even say iffy. If you walking down the street and I'm walking up the street and you say iffy, Ife, any of that, I'm going to look up. You're going to take a step, you're going to make a move, and so am I. You're going to make an attempt, and I'm going to honor your attempt. If you don't say shit and you don't try, you'd be like, oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Or you'd be like, they told us when we was little. You better not say no shit you don't know what it means. You gonna call up the devil? Listen, you better get the fuck free. Try. You didn't know how to say, I don't know how to say that. You know what? I know this is gonna come as a fucking shocker to you. But you didn't know how to speak English either. Did you know that? Right, the same way you learn English by practicing, you learn your ancient Kemetic tongue by practicing. That's peace.
Okay. I speak these words daily, for they make me feel spiritually confident that I am divine by nature because I am the essence of the Creator. This fills my soul, makes me complete as a natural human.
It's sacred woman.
My people use beauty, art, music, and dance to elevate the spirit. We were the originators of the guitar, the harp, the tambourine, and the drum. Art was seen as a beautiful, holy expression of the divine, for my people believe that beauty and goodness are an expression of Netru, and the divine creator dwelling within us. So today we celebrate many ceremonies, rituals, and services artistically for the glory of Netru. To this day, our music, our voices, and our songs often tame the violent, beastly nature of all who would destroy or oppress life.
You can. I want to see something though. However, anyone just all of these manifestations. All right. So if you have the book and you're following along, how did you say this?
Through.
Okay. And I always say inter. All right.
Okay.
No, you peace. I just want to show them how both of them apply. If you mixed up on that, and you can jot back at page 11 right quick, third paragraph, it'll say, let's see, one all divine from which all life emanates. However, inter has many wondrous divine attributes, and all of these manifestations, the interu, are aspects of its wholeness. Okay, that's peace. So now you understand. Inter is one all divine, and interu are all of its attributes. Kind of like the sun and the rays of it. Does that make sense? You're going to get light from all of that? That's peace. All right. We are on page
14.
14.
Coming home to our true selves.
All right. I'll go. Coming home to our true selves. We are the original Lotus people. Sweet, beautiful, illuminating, spiritual, and compassionate. The consciousness of one man who lives in the Lotus state was and is Neferatum, a being of pure light who evolves out of the mud of challenge, where the lotus seed is fertilized and grows upward to blossom into a wondrously beautiful soul of light. Asar, the first lotus master, is depicted on temple walls and papyrus scrolls with a lotus growing out of his feet. The priestesses were lotus women who wore lotus blossoms in their headbands. Tragically, we lost our way thousands of years ago, but some of us seek to remember, to spiritually and physically grow and blossom by returning to our ancient ways. My mate is one who was touched by the ancients early in life. His first mentor was his father, James George, a Garveyite like my father in Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Although he was a Christian minister, he taught and guided his son in secrecy from the age of 5 in our ancient Kemetic legacy. I was just thinking, for a split second I thought, I could require you to read some of this history, and I could just skip this and get right on to the meat. But I'm not. It's important that you catch this, not even just because of the history, but because we just gave credence to, she says, her first mate, okay? We're on page 14. Look, you ain't got to hold this. I got you. Okay?
Okay.
Got you. All right. Listen. All right, so here we are before we even get into any of the gateways, family, right? She's giving credit to her mate. She's giving credit to her... Hold on, let me make sure I'm together. I don't know why people be throwing shade. They be like, it's just for women. Fuck out of here. She's about to slick tell you how she wrote this book with the help of a king. Okay? Yeah. She's about to tell you how she got her light from the king. Yeah, can you imagine if he would have been like, man, this healing is just for my homies. Yeah, me neither. All right, here we go. My mate is one who was touched by the ancients early in life. His first mentor was his father, James George, a Garveyite like my father in Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Although he was a Christian minister, he taught and guided his son in secrecy from the age of 5 in our ancient Kemetic legacy, and the seed his father planted in him at such a young age has grown into a sturdy tree. Many years later, after much study and application and meditation, my husband, son Ur-Ruach Rasamaj, has been passing on this legacy by initiating many newly awakened Kemets into their Happy Valley tradition. I myself am one of Sen-Ur's most devoted students of our ancient path. For years, I kept seeking my spiritual home in many beautiful cultural and spiritual paths from other races of people. In my search, I learned to love and appreciate all forms of spiritual life. Yet I was always a visitor. All those years, I was on the outside looking in while I danced their dance of the spirit, chanted their words of praise, draped myself in their garments, and spoke in a foreign tongue. But now I have been blessed to find my way back home to self. My unique cultural expression of divinity now lives and has its breath and being within me. I'm no longer a stranger to our ancient ways. I am soul fulfilled because I am one with my beginnings. After 20 years on the path of purification, diligently cleansing my shy or karma, I was blessed with a living teacher who would be my chosen mate and my guide on the pathway home. Boop. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? After 20 years on the path of purification, diligently cleansing my karma, I was blessed with a living teacher who would be my chosen mate and my guide on the pathway home. You heard it. There it is. Sacred brother. Sacred brother. And how humble is he a king that he didn't require his name be all plastered across the front of the motherfucker. He didn't be like, can you put woman, can you put womb in parentheses and can you underline man? He didn't ask her, queen, what you gonna do to add some more shit to the man heal thyself book to make it thicker? My man knew and understood that if he could just heal that woman, she would ignite some healing and a whole lot of other women, and they would heal some brothers, and some brothers would heal some women, and would listen. The healing is just as contagious as the infection is, and that's what they don't tell you.
And that's peace.
Right, Luke. All right. I received my Ankh, my key of life, and was initiated into my legacy by San Hru Ankh Rasamaj Si Pita, elder, priest, and healer in the African high culture and spiritual life, who has initiated thousands into the ancient way of the Mayashan Kemetic Nubian legacy. I am a returning ancestor shaking off the dust and restoring my dry bones. For my legacy says that Ankh, which means life, is eternal. We never die. And since I'm part of that eternity, I have been blessed to pick up where I left off thousands of years ago, because knowledge of self is in my DNA, in my melanin. I am blessed because my people were the ones who taught the world about Inter, the one all creator, about true holistic living and natural healing, and about respect for elders, nature, and community. We even taught humanity astronomy and astrology, how to read the planets and the stars. We were very spiritually attuned before foreigners began to plague our land and our green fields and destroy our spiritual wealth. It is my people, the earth's elders, who gave the world science, math, the laying on of hands, reflexology, art, music, and dance, a legacy of magnificent beauty. So it is with tremendous gratitude that we now realign ourselves with the ancient Mayashan way. It brought glory to our past, and it can help us today. A brief overview of pre-dynastic Kemet, early Egypt, our story, by Hru Ankh Rasamaj. You want to read this part? Or do you want me to knock this out?
I love listening to your voice.
I'll read this to you. You know I love reading to you, so that's peace. A brief overview of pre-dynastic Kemet, early Egypt, our story.
That's that history. You say you should let them get on their own.
I mean, yeah, I wanted them to get all of this on their own, the history, but it's peace. Like, we can go through it together. I really want to tell you about this other stuff. Like, hold on, let me see something. Hold on one second, let me see something. Oh, that's peace. Alright, so I can. Yeah, I could do this. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I know I'm going to do this. Alright. A brief overview of, yeah, that's why I started. They said niggas don't read. They said if I charge niggas to read, they going to skip it. And so let's go. A brief overview of, we just want to prove them wrong. I'm not saying that these are niggas that won't read. I'm saying I'm not a nigga that won't read. So here we go. A brief overview of pre-dynastic Kemet, early Egypt, our story. We Kemets coming to our consciousness today, holding our ancestral memory, a vision of the origins of Kemetic, ancient Nubian, Egyptian high culture, very different from that of modern Egyptology. One favorite Egyptological spin is the notion that Stone Age hunters fleeing a Nordic ice age, wound up in the then fertile Sahara. When it dried up, they migrated into the lush Nile Delta to become the founders of science, government, philosophy, religion, astronomy, architecture, and medicine. Another favorite Egyptological belief is that the Egyptian people picked up the art of agriculture from the early Neolithic farmers of Mesopotamia. Another error is Egyptologists' irritating tendency to speak of African and Egyptian culture as if they are two separate entities. That's something we need to talk about because a lot of people don't know. Okay? Yeah, it's sad truth, but a lot of grown-ups don't know. SP, so we're going to make sure we get to a lot of grown-ups also don't know because it's not your fault, because a lot of times the textbooks will show America much larger in size, especially as it relates to Africa. So they'll show Africa on a globe or in a book much smaller. Now that we've been calling them on their shit since social media, you know, white folks, they will edit some shit quick. Not white folks. The oppressors, the enemies will edit some shit. And I do mean that. When I say not white folks, because like I said, it's everybody who hey, skin ain't kin. Everybody in the house ain't family. You don't want to get no headache. I learning that every day still. Everybody in the house ain't family. Ooh, everybody in the house ain't family. Everybody in the house ain't family. Yeah, we talking about niggas want to read? That is not true. You're right. Are you talking about the Egyptological lies? Yeah, they make my head hurt too. That's funny that he said irritating, because it is. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's so hard for me to, like, I'm not bullshitting. When I'm reading to you, I don't even read the shit that's in parentheses no more. Like I did that the first 2 times I read. Now when I'm reading, if it says Asar and it says Osiris in parentheses, I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm not even going to give you what they gave you. Like that's not even, yeah, like if your name Denise and you're in the classroom and the teacher be like, fucking D nice, you're not going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to just go with D nice for the fuck. No, you know? Okay, so, yeah, I'm not going to, we don't have to play the same games that they play. All right, here we go. Another error is Egyptologists' irritating tendency to speak of African and Egyptian cultures as if they are two separate entities. Sadly, this way of thinking seems endemic in the citadels of modern Egyptology. What was I watching? Maybe it was like Hidden Colors or something. I don't know. It was like, where's the other ologies? Like, where's the ology for China or Japan or fucking Europe? Fucking anywhere else? Why is it just, it ain't even fucking Africology, nigga, but it's fucking just Egypt. Like it ain't even Africology. Like, we gotta ask these questions though. If we don't ask them because we don't expect answers, we at least gotta ask ourselves. Sadly, this way of thinking seems endemic in the citadels of modern Egyptology. These scholars remain uncomfortable with anything that reveals genius coming from a central equatorial African source. Hence, terms such as Ice Age hunters and Mesopotamian farmers brain-stain humanity into accepting the Egyptological lie of a primordial northern origin to account for the flowering of the Happy Valley civilization. We do know Egypt to be a lie, right? A ripoff? Oh, that's peace. There's Egypt. There's the Egyptological lie. But the black bones at Olduvai Gorge in Kenya that George Leakey leaked out, the primordial bones of Lucy in the far regions of Kush, and those in Monomotapa. And listen, when I say Kush, like I said, I don't like to tell you about these parentheses, but Kush, that's Ethiopia. The primordial bones of Lucy in the far regions of Kush and those in Monomotapa, South Africa, do not lie. Neither do the richly melanated skins of the Sahu, so-called mummies, found in the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens. Our Anutwa ancestors, now insultingly labeled pygmies, were the originators of pre-dynastic Kemetic civilization and built the holy city of Anu, biblical on Greek Heliopolis. These same Anu later migrated to become the Ayanu of Japan and the Ta Anu or Tainu of the West Indies. Our exalted Africa-Nubian civilization existed for untold millennia before the inhabitants. Hold on. I need to get closer to you or something for some back support. All right, that's please. Oh my gosh. You pressing on my stomach feels so good. Those beans really ran a number on me.
I second that motion.
I don't think I should have had cabbage as a midnight snack.
Cabbage, black eyed peas, poker beans and walnut, and cornbread.
You ain't have no cornbread.
I had cornbread. Yeah, it was cornbread bread. Well, I might have been no big whole piece, but I had some cornbread.
Last night?
Yeah, you left me on the plate. You didn't even know it, but you did.
There was none. It was only 6 pieces of cornbread from the night before, and everybody had them. You don't even know what you was eating. Oh shit! You know what? It might have been. It might have been an onion roll. I don't.
I know I was asking you. I was fucking it up. I know it wasn't meat.
You're right. It wasn't meat. Whatever it was, it wasn't. Like cornbread. Wait a minute. About to punch you in your shit. You had cornbread without me, motherfucker. Let me find out. Me and my chicken wing things, honey. We'll show up for some cornbread. All right, here we go. Here we go. Sharon, you going to sleep over there? You straight? All right, here we go. Oh, God, it does feel good on my stomach, though. I'm so gassy. All right. Our exalted African-Nubian civilization existed for untold millennia before the inhabitants of the northern zone were never heard of. And when the northerners finally succeeded in conquering the African-Nubian blameless ones, whether Cambyses the Persian, the Greek Alexander, or the Romans Antony and Caesar, they lacked the cultural and spiritual astuteness to sustain the Mayacian or righteous principles that made Kemetic civilization so lasting and great. If one honestly seeks to learn the originators of Kemetic culture and civilization, it is the oral history and oldest writing of Kemets themselves that one must go. In sections of the Book of Coming Forth by Day from Night, the so-called Egyptian Book of the Dead, in the Pyramid text, and in the Coffin text, my ancestors continuously refer to a star-born origin. The kings and queens who sat on the lion's throne of Heru in the Happy Valley called themselves Sarah, son of the sun, and Satra, daughter of the sun, respectively. Our first earth mother, Ast, was born from the star Spit, also called Sirius. Our first earth father, Asar, was born in the constellation of Sa, or Orion. We Africans were star trekkers for untold thousands of years before Captain Kirk's Star Trek. Listen to Muthetep, Mother Peace, a queen of 5th dynasty, in a quote from her own papyrus in the British Museum. I have come forth from between the thighs of divinity. I have been conceived by Sekhmet, and I have been brought forth at the door of the star Sirius, the foremost who is long of strides along the celestial path of Ra day after day. Listen to another Kemet from a Sish or papyrus at Paris. I rise like a mighty star in the star world. Let me journey through it like the son of Ra. I am Heru, heir of Osar. I have received his name's crown in the star world. To this very day, the doggone people of Mali, who trace their beginnings to the Happy Valley, still celebrate the orbital cycles of Sirius B around Sirius A. They call Sirius B Potolo, the seed star. Modern Egyptologists such as Martin Bernal, the author of Black Athena, now admit that the people who created the early Egyptian civilization flowed from the sources of the River Happy in Kush, Ethiopia, and Kinset, Nubian Sudan. Because Southern origins are unmistakably black and African, some European Egyptologists have held that Egypt is in the Middle East. That Egypt is part of the entire African continent is evident to all except the most voluntarily blind. Any researcher who attempts to present a brief outline of Kemetic history is confronted by a mass of Egyptologian gobbledygook of foreign names and conflicting timelines, dynasties, and data. However, they all seem to toe the line of a first dynasty beginning at 3100 BCE. One who graduates out of Egyptology to the embrace, one who graduates out of Egyptology to embrace Kemetology soon discovers, though, that the Kemet mind deals with past, present, and future simultaneously. The story of Kemet is a cyclical one. As the Western world enters its third millennium, anyone of Kemetic consciousness who needs to celebrate dates has countless beginnings to choose from. In 10,500 BCE, the Spitting Nubian Kemets of the Happy Valley unified to build Hru-Imhotep, the Sphinx, to honor Sekhmet, the lioness cosmic mother healer who had rid the land of the enemies of Mayat. The Isphicians, historically called Hyksos or Hyksos, nomadic shepherd worshippers of Seth, inter of the desert and storms. In 4240 BCE, the Hru, Namur, known to Egyptologists as Pharaoh Narmer or Mings, reinstituted a lost unity and declared the Smai, or unification, of Tawi, the two regions, Kemet and Kenset. In the year 2000, if we choose the provable date of an age of Leo beginning, 10,500 BCE, we would be at the halfway mark of our... Does this sound boring to you? The history part? Please don't all answer at once. In the year 2000, if we choose the provable date of an age of Leo beginning, we would be at the halfway mark of our 13th millennium. Let me tell you why this is important. And so some people it is. That's peace. I'm going to say no. But, let me tell you something else. You know, like I said, if you've been fucking with me for a minute, and I'm going to always say that because I know I don't want to, it's like I'm not purposefully being redundant. If you've been rocking, I'm not going to pretend like I'm giving you new shit and this shit I gave you before. But like I told you, say Jamila Heyman got a video, or somebody shared a video of hers a while back. Jamila Heyman, Asase Academy, ASASE Academy. You want to get your children free? Look that up. So I saw one of the first videos I saw by the sister Jamila Heyman, my brother shared, and it was tagged, Jamila Heyman changed my life with a roll of tissue, or some shit like that. Jamila Heyman changed my life with tissue. I don't know. I was like, what? And I watched it, and she did. You have to see that video. But more importantly, it was also a video from Jamila Heyman that answered questions that I had as a child when folk tried to shut me down. I think it was in, I really want to say it was, for me, I don't want to push it, but I'm pretty sure that they first started to teach Spanish in elementary school. By middle school and high school, in middle school, foreign language was offered as an elective. I got to choose electives, and it was an option. It wasn't one that I had to take, but in high school, it was required. And in elementary, they just like clean code stuck it in. Just like they tell you red, the motherfuckers just also said rojo. You know what I mean? Yeah, I learned Spanish like my children, except they use Dora to teach my baby. Me, they just use the teachers. Anyway, October, remember, December. All right. Okay. Yeah, just not. All right, just so I don't make this too long, okay? All right, I'm going to show you this real quick. All right. This is why when we start talking about history and numbers, it's important. Wait a minute, let me turn this around so you can goddamn see me right quick. Let me tell you something. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. All right. Okay. I can see you better now. Okay, that's peace. So, right. Let me see. Let's say I'm having a party for you, right? Right, so I'm having a party for you and shit. We about to turn the fuck up. It's about to go the fuck down. Well, it don't go down no more. Well, now we light workers, we know it goes up. But yeah, all right, so I'm about to have this banging ass party, right? You want to come because it's all for you, right? And I'd be like, okay, then that's peace. I'm going to see you there. But I don't give you no time. Are you going to make it? Probably not. If you don't know what time it is, you ain't going to get there on time. If you don't know what time it is, you're not going to get there on time. It don't even matter if I tell you, yeah, my nigga, we having it at 8 o'clock. If you don't know what time it is, you're not going to get there on time. Now let's think about what methods we used before as ancients to tell time. The stars, you can't even see half of those now because of light pollution. Listen, if you don't know what time it is, you're not going to get there on time. You're not going to get there on time. Kind of like GPS. We've all had the GPS. You to tell the GPS where you're going. You put in vegan restaurant near me. It say leafy green. You hit leafy green and they want to know where are you starting from? Where are you starting from? You have to know where the fuck you're starting from. So if somebody can knock you off your block, so you all been like dizzy or off your block before. If you don't know where you start, you don't know where you finish. If you don't know what time it is, you're not gonna get there on time. That's why it's important to understand that numbers do lie. Numbers absolutely do lie, and they have been manipulated. Like I said, this piece, I'll show you this. And this is a question I had in elementary school when they started making me learn Spanish. Okay, because I know October, November, and December to be 10, 11, and 12. And I can do this with all of the months. This is how I know that New Year is in February. I'm not fucking with them people. I know New Year is in the spring. Listen, though. So when we was doing the octa and nueve, diez, I know those to be 8, 9, and 10. And every time they would teach me more Spanish, it would help me to learn English better, or so I thought. But like there's a manipulation, because if octa is 8 and nueve is 9 and deca is 10, then October is the 8th month. Oh, say I'm freezing up. Tell me, am I still freezing up? Hateration in the dancery. Tell me, am I still freezing up? Let me know. Am I freezing up? Since I don't want you to miss it. It's back. Alright, so they don't... Okay, so they want me to stay right there. Alright, I'm going to stay right there. I'm going to stay right there. I can do that. You ain't got to move that. You ain't got to move that yet. Not yet. Hold on. I think I tore out somebody's shotgun. Alright. Alright, here we go. Like I said, this is why the history part is important. Again, because I don't want you to miss the numbers. I don't know how much of me was freezing up, so I'm going to make it quick. Alright, that's peace. Like I said, I don't know how much of me was freezing up, so I'm going to make sure you got it. They taught me October to be the 10th month, November to be the 11th, December to be the 12th. In the same class, they taught me octa mean 8, nueve mean 9, and deca mean 10. Alright? That's number manipulation all day. Can we agree on that? Well, that's peace. This is why it's important that you know the dates. Because if you can understand that they've manipulated time, you'll know you're really late for getting where the fuck you gotta be. That's peace? Let's get it. Alright. Now is you gonna let me turn around, camera? You just gonna flip it? Okay. Alright. I love you.
I love you.
I need you.
I need you.
I want you.
I want you.
I adore you.
I adore you.
I honor you.
I honor you.
I admire you.
I admire you.
Oh God, I cherish you.
I cherish you.
I respect you.
I respect you.
I protect you.
I protect you.
Always.
Always.
I know I'm not allowed to kiss on you with my lipstick on. Alright, here we go. Here we go, family. Alright. Smart Tawi, thyself, unity. all this sugar. You see that? All right. You want to do yoga? You want to do some yoga?
Oh, yeah? Yeah, we'll come back and do that. Yeah. I mean, as soon as we're done with cigarettes, we make that whole different video.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to see if you was going to say yes or no. That's all.
No, I'll do yoga.
All right. I don't want you going to sleep back there. Okay, here we go. Kemet, so we're not confused. Here we go. Perfect. Actually says that. In the year 2000, if we choose the provable date of an age of Leo beginning, we would be at the halfway mark of our 13th millennium. If we choose Narmer's 4240 BCE, the beginning of the age of Taurus, we are at 1/4 mark of our 17th millennium. Since the reunification Smytawi by Narmer, this would be 6240 Smytawi, or ST. If we choose to date from King Tutankhamun, it would be 3373 SA, since Aten Ra. How long have Kemets been on planet Earth? Our traditions say from the first times, so we are not confused by conjectured Egyptological dates. We look at our story to gather the lessons of our past errors so that we may correct them. But most important, we gather the enduring values of Mayat, righteous, healing with truth, light, and order, that we may live them and practice them. The evidence of Kemetic glory and downfall has been captured on temple walls and sesh or papyrus. Kemet rose and fell because no civilization can escape the law of cycles. What goes around comes around. What goes up comes down to rise again. People ask, if the ancient Egyptians were so great, how or why did they fall? Just let them reflect and meditate on the law of cycles. Some of the signs of the pending fall from glory are mirrored on the walls in the killing of animals for food and sacrifice, and in the killing of humans in war. The walls are replete with the story of a gloriously peaceful civilization forced to make chariots, which they did not invent, to defend themselves from the northern Asiatics and the southern Isphistins, who worked against the principles of Mayat order, righteousness, and reciprocity. We focus on times of Smytawi, unity, as our model because where there is unity, there is healing taking place. Today, humanity is disunified, therefore sick with violence, pestilence, and war. It must be healed. The rebirth of the Smytawi Nubian Kemetic Mayat paradigm is upon us. Once we overcome the Egyptological preoccupation with dates and dynasties, then all humanity can have access to the Smytawi. Heal thyself, know thyself, love thyself, be thyself, Mayashan way of ascension and renaissance. O Kemet, what historical lies have been told of you through your present day distorted name, Egypt? O Nubian, Kushite, Kemetic ancestors, Western man is claiming that he came from the north to build the pyramids with bricks and straw, thanks to Hollywood. Ann Baxter is Nefertiti and Yul Brynner is Ramses. Hollywood's Stargate has desecrated Ra as an Epicene demon, and the mummy's curse has been unleashed in a sorry effort to sow doubt and fear among people, all of whom need Mayat truth, righteousness, and fairness in their lives. So I keep, all right, look, we about to back up. How come I don't get the memo when I be freezing up? All right. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say I don't wanna. All right. Let's keep on pushing in. I might have to start. Sharon, I might have to give you my cell phone number so you can text message me when it start messing up. Aw, in the window. I know who that is. When I see that space for energy. Beloved.
Indigo.
Okay, it was just 2 sentences? Okay. O Kemet, what historical lies have been told of you through your present day distorted name Egypt? O Nubian, It was talking about Hollywood done a raw deal on us. But they will fail to know it, because Mayat is a principle hidden behind the gates of a cosmic divine high culture whose door was supposed to remain sealed by the invention of the word sound, Egypt. The biblical curses against Egypt would scare most people away from discovering the glittering heritage that awaits their claim. They did to ancients what they've done to us with voodoo. You hear Ouija board. As a Christian, you hear Ouija board, you get scared. You hear voodoo, you get scared. You hear chanting, you get scared. You hear anytime somebody talking about altar and they're not talking about going up there to the Church of God in Christ, you concerned. You talking about death candles, you talking about saging, all of these things. Doesn't matter how, no matter if you burn frankincense, when that's in the Bible. You light some frankincense up at a church if you want to. They're going to put some water on your ass and get you the fuck up out of there. Listen, they did the same thing with the ancients. The same way freedom and revolt with our ancestors were scary words, You don't start saying shit like that. The same way they scared us, we don't say bomb on a plane. You don't say shit like that. It's the same way. We now say it and sling it around like it's nothing because we don't know the history of it. But the word Egypt is a spell. And it is in place to scare people away and to make them, it's all of those things that all of your Sankofa, Hollywood has made scary. All of your Sankofa, Hollywood has made scary. I'm trying to tell you. Like, hey, let me just keep on going. Okay? Let me just keep on going. The biblical curses against Egypt would scare most people away from discovering the glittering heritage that awaits their claim. For an even older version of our creation story, one can examine the Shabaka stone, now preserved in the British Museum in London, England. It tells us that Ptah Sekhmet, great mother, father, creator, became the first ruler guide of the Commissions. Ptah and Sekhmet established the Hisepu nomes, the states or administrative divisions of the country, and constructed the temples and shrines. They fashioned the statues and figurines of the Enteru and put them in their places. Egyptologists refer to this time as the rule of the gods. The Shabaka stone. Why does that sound familiar to me?
Shabaka stone. Shabaka?
That's Star Wars too?
Yeah.
So I gotta watch Star Wars.
I'm telling you that.
Can I read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
You'll give me the book instead?
I'll get you the book.
That's peace.
That's peace.
All right. Yeah, like, this is the thing. And I know, I know with books it's just the same. I know that. But I feel like with books, I paint my own pictures. And I speak my own words. With movies, you pick my picture. You pick the sounds I hear. And that's just giving you more control than I want. Because if you put words up on the screen, I'm naturally going to read them. So now you have the control over what I'm reading, the images that I'm seeing with my eyes, the vision that I'm seeing with my eye, and the way I'm hearing it. And I'll be like, all the stuff that I missed before I was woke, all the stuff that I missed in these movies, right? Now, as I become more woke, I see more and more. Which makes me think, even in my wokeness, how much am I missing? You know what I mean? Like, how much is affecting me that I don't know? So it's probably the same, but I feel like I have more control by reading it instead of letting them tell me a story.
But at the same time, in your level of wokeness, going to see a movie with having more control over your mind, you are in the safer zone. If you go in there and you're not aware of what's going on as far as movies, they will control your mind, manipulate your mind. If you go in there with awareness and you're able to see the underlying, then you regain the control. You're able to see their symbolism and interpret for what it is instead of using that symbolism against you if you don't know what it is.
I want to know more about Chewbacca so I can know how relative Chewbacca is to this Chewbacca stone.
In the movie Star Wars, Chewbacca is a Yeti from space that is fully functioning for like a humanoid, but he's a Yeti. And he always is sidekick to a white man named Han Solo. And Han Solo is damn near the only one who can understand Chewbacca. Like a 7-foot monkey. With a crossbow.
Aha.
Inside joke.
No laughing matter. All right, here we go. All right. So here, the Chewbacca stone also refers to the drowning of Asar and his resuscitation by his wife Ast and her sister Neptet. The lives of the citizens of Kemet were centered around the temple, much like the state capital or city hall of modern times. Reverence for the divine permeated all aspects of life in Kemet. The culture was spiritual, not religious. Religion is modern, whereas spirituality is primordial. The very word religion is drawn from the Latin word religare or religio, which means to tie back or to tie again. Since the Kemet saw their lives as intrinsically, wait a minute, let me give you that again, because I'm not telling you to study etymology. I'm just, like I said, there are words that we speak that we don't understand their power. That's why I'm always like, when somebody says something, I be like, by definition, I need to know what you mean. Like, I need to know, like, by definition, like, because what the fuck you saying could be not what the fuck you meaning. All right, you'll see. All right, here we go. Okay, we really are about to wrap it up. I know we've been on here for a while. All right, so the very word religion is drawn from the Latin word religare or religio, which means to tie back or to tie again. Latin is a language I would study if I were you. If you want to learn language, study Latin. I know people are going to be like, I've heard so many people be like, they tend to teach my baby Spanish. Fuck that. I'm about to teach my baby Swahili, or you ain't about to teach your baby shit, really. Because your baby English is fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? What you need to do, what's going to help your English, it'll help your Spanish, and it'll help your Swahili, is learn Latin, okay? Because all of the language are so one. When you begin to learn them, all of them are so one. All of them are so one. Look up how to say no in 15 different languages, and watch how it's all of it look like nah. It's the same thing. So I did study Latin, you know. If I were you, I would study Latin. Just like when I looked at the Spanish, you know what I'm saying? Pater, I think in Latin, is father. I knew that before I was watching Maury as a child, and I didn't really know I didn't know what paternity meant. I know paternity test meant you're going to test the daddy, but I didn't really connect the paternal. Like, if a motherfucker said paternal twins, I wouldn't get the two and put the motherfuckers together, you know? Like, I just wouldn't. It wasn't until I studied Latin that I began to see the bits and pieces. I began to understand why they call English a bastard language or fatherless language, because it was nothing but fragments that I had learned from Spanish and fragments that I had learned from Latin. So learn Latin. Yeah. You got to be 100 with yourself. They say if you was going to learn another language, motherfucker, you would have done that shit already. So if you want to learn something that will help you to recognize every word in every language, like I said, listen, I've been in circles where I've had conversations with people and we don't speak the same language at all. Not like when, you know, how we fuck around and be like, por favor. You fuck around and say por favor to a Mexican, and then they think you know full on goddamn Spanish. No, not like that. Like, I've had conversations. We've exchanged love, peace, and power, and we didn't speak the same language. And that's just using the sounds, you know, slowly together understanding that there are pieces in our shit that mean the same. All right, study Latin. Study Latin. I might got some flashcards of Latin that I could give away since I never used them. But I'll see. I have to go find them. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. So again, religion, which stems from the Latin word religio or religere, means to tie down or to tie back again. Since the Kemet saw their lives as intrinsically connected to divinity, there was no reason to be tied. It was those who saw themselves as alienated from the divine who invented religion and its attendant competitive dogmas to tie them fast to their spiritual vision. Kemetic consciousness perceives itself as surrounded, enveloped, saturated, nurtured, and immersed in divinity, like the fish in the ocean. Kemets had no need to invent religion. Spiritual immersion was the mode of existence. This view empowered our Kemetic ancestors. They entertained no doctrine of salvation by proxy. Mayat demands personal responsibility and accountability. There is no vicarious atonement. When you live in Mayat, every day is Judgment Day. Another fatal error of Egyptology is the use of the terms gods and goddesses to describe the attributes, aspects, and differentiations of divinity. Western concepts of divinity give us an objective male god up in heaven, somewhere ruling over a hierarchy of all male angels and little boy cherubs. This will never do for the Kemet. From the beginning, Kemet cosmology was myatical, balanced. It taught of a mother-father creator. The Interu, divine attributes, were likewise feminine and masculine. For example, Ptah, Sekhmet, Amun-Ra, and Mut, Tehuti and Mayat, Ast and Asar. This way of viewing the divine that filtered down into everyday life was matriarchal, and women enjoyed a measure of equality unduplicated in these so-called modern times. The Greeks and Romans were appalled at the level of freedom of Kemetic women, who could own property and function as queens, high priestesses, and living oracles. The lineage of kings was transmitted through the mother, as was inheritance. The Mayatocracy, righteous government, of the ancient Kemets eclipsed the democracy of modern times, whose hallmark has been the suppression and oppression of women, coupled with a pervasive undercurrent of racism. In order to begin to understand the spirituality of the ancient Kemets, it's important to open your consciousness and familiarize yourself with the Kemetic cosmological legacy that created the Mayatocracy. If you pray for guidance as you experience the 9 gateways of initiation, you will discover what your Kemetic ancestors always knew, that your so-called spiritual life and your normal life are truly one. All right, so that's the close for today. I'll let you go over page 19 by yourself. That's the Interu, Ancient Kemetic Nubian Spiritual Energies. So it breaks it down for you. I'll give you a couple of them. Aten Ra, element of fire, revealed light of the hidden sun. Heru, sacred warrior of light and victory, the faculty of will. Het Heru, divine love, beauty, protection, and nurturing. Nu, element of water. Sekhmet, consort of Ptah, lioness, patron of healers. Ta'ert, Taweret, great earth mother. And Tehuti, moon, divine intelligence, lord of time, inventor of writing, patron of scribes. All right, so some good stuff there. Let's give you this affirmation so we can get out. And tomorrow we'll pick up on part 2, womb wisdom. All right, let me, ling-a-ling-a-ling. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love you. I love you too. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breasts, buttocks, and a womb. I come, with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. All right. Peace, y'all. We doing good. Just doing this thing together.